all here. Good evening. Welcome to the Raymond School District number 14's regular school board meeting for this February 16th, 2026. This meeting is now called to order. It is 6:30. Please rise and say the Pledge of Allegiance with me. I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Natalie, will you please do roll call?
Robinson,
Here.
Jennifer Gonzalez,
Here.
Mike Powers,
Here.
Audrey Kostek,
Here.
Keith Kassenson.
Thank you, Natalie. Verification of public notice pursuant to 19.841 Wisconsin statutes.
Meeting was posted in all the usual areas: schoolhouse doors, e-Vergent, Village Hall, online. Media were notified and are present.
Okay, thank you, Mike. We'll need approval for the agenda of this meeting.
I make a motion to approve the agenda for February 16th, 2026.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve the agenda for this meeting. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. We move to the consent agenda, and we'll need a motion to approve the minutes. However, let's do this in a couple clumps here, since there were a few people that were not at some of the committee meetings. Looking for a motion to approve the regular meeting minutes from 1/19/25 and the special meeting minutes from 1/5/26.
So moved. Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve the regular meeting minutes and the special meeting minutes. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Next, we'll move to the Finance Committee meeting minutes from 1/14. Need a motion to approve,
I move to approve the minutes from the Finance Committee meeting.
and I'll second that. Since,
There's 3 abstains on that.
right, and so, you and you abstain. We have a motion and a second to approve the Finance Committee meeting minutes. In favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Next, the approval of the Facility Committee meeting minutes from 1/27/26.
Motion to approve the facilities committee minutes.
I'll second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Those at the meeting can,
Aye.
okay, motion carries. Next, we move to the financial report. Jeff?
So just bear with me. I've been in bed for the last 3 days, so I'm hoping I won't have a coughing fit here. So just the first, again, the first page is payroll and accounts payable, ACH and wire payments. If you want to go down to the next one. Just a few things to note for the bank reconciliation this is for January. We received our January tax settlement, and then a few of the state aid, so special eds, parents aid, and pupil transportation aid. We received a PTO donation for kindergarten classroom supplies. So that's pretty much all it for January, not too much activity. If you scroll down a little bit right there, so whenever there's something special, I usually put it in this area that's not necessarily a wire transfer or an ACH. So there's a transfer to the WISC investment account. We had established the WISC account a couple months ago. There wasn't a lot of opportunity because we've been short-term borrowing to place money in that account. So then you'll see that whenever I make a transfer, that's where you'll see it so this is the checking or the money market account. And then if you go on to the next one, you'll have a new bank reconciliation every month. So this is the WISC account. So right now we have a checking account, a savings account, a checking account, a money market account, the Fund 21 activity checking account, and now we added the WISC investment account. So it has its own bank statement, and it's a monthly bank statement. So the beginning balance is 0 because we didn't, I haven't put anything in there yet. I transferred $1 million into the WISC account. I think I did it around January 20th. And then it already, for 10 days, it already generated $1,200 in interest. So it's a pretty good return in our investment. I can pull and, it's similar to the money market, it's a money market account. I can transfer money from the WISC account to the checking account. It takes a day, so I have to do some planning, but it's pretty quick. So from this point forward, you'll see a bank reconciliation for the WISC account. It's the Wisconsin Investment Series Cooperative account. And it's held by PMA, if you can't remember. As far as the balance sheet goes, if you look at the second line where it's 10A712001, that's the WISC account. That will almost always be pure cash. The first asset account holds a lot of things plus cash, and it holds a lot of the liabilities too, but the WISC account doesn't have any liabilities to it. It's pure cash, so that's where that will always live. And that's an account that I added in Skyward. So we didn't have that cash account before, so that's new. And then the fourth account, the liability, the 811, that's where we borrowed $77,000 on the line of credit at the beginning of January before we got our tax settlement. So now our liability is $842,000. We still, it was a $1.2 million line of credit. We've only borrowed we borrowed $842,000 of it. And then I'm not anticipating borrowing any more. However, we'll keep gaining interest. Because it's my first year here, I'm a little leery to pay it off right away. Once we pay it off, we can't go back and get it again. So if something happens and I didn't, something big happens and we still need the money, I can't reborrow again, and then we're in a bad situation.
So it's not a revolving line of credit. It's just use it, pay it off, it's done.
Right, yeah. And then the interest always lives again in the 81, it's the 10L811700 where it says interest payable. So right now it's $13,995. That's how much we owe in interest. Unfortunately, it gains interest like $171 a day or something like that. So
Jeff, could you just speak to, some people are going to hear right now that we have $1 million that we put into an account. But if I understand correctly, $842,000 of that is already spoken for, but we're holding it until the money is due in August. And we're trying to maximize our investment to obtain interest to defer our interest costs.
yes. So the reason why we use the WISC account is because the community state bank account, anything under $1 million, the interest rate gets lowered significantly. And even that, the interest rate on the WISC account is still a little bit higher. So that's one of the reasons instead of holding it in the money market account. We get a lot of our revenue at this time between January, February, March, and then the next time is in June, and the next time is in August. So it's kind of like saving for all your bills that you know are coming up, but you don't have, like you lost your job for 3 months. It's something similar to that. So you're not having a lot of income coming in, but you still have to pay the bills. So while we have the money, we invest it wisely. It'll defray some of the interest costs. And then next year in August,
Oh, I'm sorry.
yeah, go ahead.
How much do you expect to pull out of that $1 million account each month? Maybe 100, 200,000, or whatever is needed to make pay bills, right?
Right, so so today I went and picked up the February tax settlement, that's 571,000.
Okay.
So that will go in, some of that will go into the WISC account also, and as I pay the bills, I will be strategically transferring from
Okay.
the WISC account. It's kind of like mega micromanaging, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Because I want to keep as much in there as I possibly can while the interest rate is high. You know, in 2020, the interest rate was 0.4, so no one was getting any interest. So while it's here, we might as well, use the resources that we have. So if you want to scroll, we didn't have a lot of activity. If you keep going to again, with all of the checks there, if you ever have any question about any of the checks, just please ask me. Mike and I review the invoices every month. So,
Keith's got a question.
yeah,
What's the Trout one, CHUBB?
that's our liability insurance. We pay that about every 3 months.
That's,
It's a unique line.
Yeah,
What is chubby, exactly.
yeah.
It's the portal.
A lot of them are benefits, so. So then for the monthly financial statement, if you scroll down, keep going.
More?
Yep, keep going. So that one that is sideways. If you ever look at this, for all of the geeky accounting people like me, when you look at revenue for when we had $1.44 million for our tax settlement, some of it goes to Fund 10, some of it goes to Fund 80, and some of it goes to Fund 38. So the best practice is when you get your first tax settlement, is to divide those funds to the lesser funds first. So for instance, Fund 38 got $260-some thousand, because those are our bond payments, and those bond payments are due in March. And then $10,000 went into Fund 80, because that's what we had in our revenue limit. And then the rest of it went to Fund 10. So like the first line of the monthly financial statement, our property tax, it says 1.16. That wasn't the 1.4, because only that much went to the general fund, and the rest of it went to Fund 80 and Fund 38. So if you're ever wondering why that happens, that's why. So, if you go to the last page of that, Mike, I don't know if you can, yeah, so right there. So again, the summary, again, I don't have a lot of variances right now, just because I do have like a sheet that I track expenses, but for now I'm not projecting a lot of variances. For like one of the first times in a long time, we had more revenue than we did expenses. Again, we're saving for future bills, and our fund balance is back to positive, because that will change every month if you look at the bottom. And then where our short-term funds were borrowed, that hopefully won't change, and I won't have to borrow anything else. If you scroll down to the cash flow, so in January, obviously, we had our more revenue than probably any month that we'll have, just because that's the largest source of revenue that we have. And then we're looking to the future in August to when we have to pay off the note. That's what I'm thinking, that we will be paying in interest. So paying off the note at $888,000, hopefully not having to borrow any more.
So Jeff, again, just back in October, according to this chart, we were down to fumes. About $6,000 was roughly what we were showing for cash. So we short-term borrowed to survive those months, and now we had the influx of the tax settlement payment, and that's why we have the money we have.
Right. Yes. And then, again, the comparison from January to January, this should be the new normal moving forward, where January or December is very light, and then January and February are we have more cash. Last year, again, was a little bit of an anomaly, just because we had some mix-ups with the short-term note and paid it in January instead of paying it in August, and then had to get some state trust fund loans to make payroll and, all that stuff. So this is hopefully the new normal. At least as long as I'm here, it will be the new normal, and hopefully getting a little bit better every year. And then if you like graphs, this is what our graph looks like. Again, not a lot of money, and we did have our peak in January, and I think that's it.
Yep, that's it.
That's it?
Yep.
Any questions?
Motion to approve the treasurer's report.
I'll second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to approve the financial report. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. We move to the school showcase.
Yes.
All right.
Mrs. Klein.
So we invited Ms. Klein here tonight. Deb Klein's been here, she's in her second year with us, but many years before us in other places. We're super glad to have her as part of our team. Debbie does a lot with every classroom here, and oftentimes she's hard to find during the day. She's walking around everywhere she gets her steps in, let's just say that. So she is working in a variety of classrooms on a variety of topics. One of those is academic and career planning, which this is a direct connection. So when someone asks, are our kids ready for high school, and are they ready for the workforce beyond high school? Because 4 years, we all know in this room how fast 4 years goes. But it's important for our kids to have a plan. And many of you plant that seed as you talk with your kids, but not every kid has that plan. So Ms. Klein helps us, our students, figure out where they sit and what's next. So she'll tell you about that now.
Yeah. So, academic and career planning is a course that I teach to all the middle school students starting in 6th grade. I meet with all of them bi-weekly. All right, I'll just start over. Academic and career planning is a course that I teach bi-weekly to all the middle school students here at Raymond. So I see 6th and 7th grade one week, and I see 8th grade on the opposite week, and it's really a great time for us to get together to think about and plan for their future, for high school, and just getting them career and college ready. So academic and career planning is a mandatory student-driven process for grades 6 through 12, designed to help students explore their interests, strengths, and career options. It's really a law in Wisconsin that all students have an academic and career plan. It's education for employment, and that is something that they will have all the way through graduating from high school. My guiding questions when I'm teaching them this course is, who am I, where am I going, and how do I get there? So, ACP provides students with the tools necessary to make informed choices about post-secondary education, training, and careers after high school. Not just college, but also technical school, apprenticeships. We talk about it all the different pathways that we can have to take us to a career. So we always begin, we're guided by the Wisconsin Career Readiness Standards, being career ready, having career awareness, being learning ready, being critical thinkers with technology and academic skills, and being life ready, having communication skills and leadership and self-awareness. So we always start with the ACP model for Wisconsin, which is, who am I? The know portion. We get to know our interests, our skills, and our strengths. We explore, where do I want to go? What are my career pathways and education options? We plan, we set goals, we choose courses, we join clubs and activities at the middle school level. What are some things I can do to grow my plan? And then the go part. Put it in action and adjust as needed. So maybe right now I have a certain plan, maybe that isn't going to be my plan when I'm a senior in high school, but it is really important to start setting goals young so that we can make those goals happen. Zello is our platform that we use in the state of Wisconsin and that I use here at Raymond to make sure that every student is future ready. It's an electronic platform that helps students know, explore, planning, go. It's DPI compliant, and your students will use Zello all the way through high school. Zello has many lessons. It also is where high school students submit their transcripts to college and have their teachers write letters of recommendation. It's really an exciting program. If you click on the link in there, Mike, I can show them just, I'm logged in as a pretend 8th grader right now in Zello. Oh, no, it's on mine. I'm sorry.
Want to log in quick? You want to log in on mine? Or do you know your password? Why don't you hook your computer up?
Can we hook my computer up?
It's too cool to pass this out.
I know, I'm sorry. Oh, it's over here. This is what happens when I go into classrooms because they're all different everywhere.
I couldn't even tell you what mine is on my computer.
So I'm logged in as an 8th grade student right now. Hopefully it'll pop right up. Here, seeing no signal.
Little Debbie Klein.
Yeah, little Debbie Klein,
Little
an
Debbie.
8th grader now. So you can see that after the students explore within Zello, they take different inventories, a matchmaker, a personality style, how they learn best. It takes that information and it matches them with potential careers that they could be interested in for them to explore. They can look at their clusters and so forth. If you scroll up, can I just use your mouse for a minute? So as they explore, they can favorite careers. Obviously, when I take the matchmaker, it's good. It comes out, I should be a school counselor. But they can also explore, it worked out for me, by schools and careers. There's over 600 careers inside of Zello, and there's over 3,500 schools, technical and college, that are available for them to explore. Right now in 7th grade, we're doing a pennant project where they're exploring a school of their choice. And for my students who want to do an apprenticeship or look at a vocation, we have them look at a technical school so that they can see how those align. So they have so many, I mean, I can't even begin to tell you the number of careers that are inside of Zello for them to explore more careers than they could ever even think of or imagine, which is really the whole, really the great point of it all, is that they get to explore and learn about themselves through Zello. You can search schools by state, you can look at a major and then see where you could go to school. It's all well linked, and it is where they will explore their careers as they move on to Union Grove.
I do have a question. Is there anything that talks about the military? Like
Yes,
Okay.
all the pathways are really, even, you know, if you need supported learning, they have a pathway for that as well. So yes, military, vocational school, apprenticeship, it is all linked in there under, if you go to Explore Pathways, Dr. Leach on the top, at the very top, Explore, and then hit Pathways. You can see down at the bottom, they have all of the different ways to get to the world of work. And so they have videos and links about how you could join ROTC, you could be an infantryman, or you could even go on to a military academy. So they really touch on all the different plans that a student could have. And my goal in middle school is really to expose them to all the plans. I don't think they have to have a specific plan when they're in 6th grade, but they should know what plans are out there to them. In 6th grade specifically, our Zello lessons are interests, school subjects at work, decision-making, and time management. They take their inventories of career matchmaker and personality style. These lessons help us be academic ready as well, so those are skills that we need for school. So I also always do a growth mindset lesson at the beginning of the year. We set a SMART goal, and I work on avoiding procrastination and teaching problem-solving skills to the sixth graders. And then in seventh grade, the Zello lessons are learning styles, discovering your learning pathways, biases and career choices, and jobs and employers. They can update their matchmaker, but they also take their learning style, which can help them think about ways to study. So how is it if I am a visual learner that I can study versus a tactile learner, so I can maximize my, my success in school? I also, can you go back one? I also do some work with stress management, and we do our school research project to get them thinking big. In eighth grade, the lessons are skills, explore career matches, transition to high school, and self-advocacy, all skills we need for high school. Also part of the ACP plan here that I have is to work closely with our eighth graders, especially at the beginning of the year, to help them choose their courses and get ready for eighth grade. So we start the year with a web quest of the high school course guide so that they can begin to think about what options they have when they get to Union Grove. We talk about scheduling, what block scheduling looks like, what the high school schedule looks like, and how it's different from our schedule. And then we attend Bronco Day, which is a field trip we go on, where they get to see the 13 different elective areas at Union Grove, and then that helps them choose. The parents go to freshman parent night. It's all done by December 5th, which is really early for our students, but it's great. So they really have ideas of what they're going to do. And when they leave here, all their inventories are complete within Zello, so they can update them when they get to the high school. They'll continue to have lessons pushed to them 9th through 12th grade. But ACP, as I said, doesn't end here. It continues at Union Grove. They have many other things that help to flesh out that opportunity for our students. They have a college and career expo. College and military recruiters come to the high school. They have dual credit opportunities with Gateway Technical College, and some of our students are able to leave high school with welding certificates and CNA degrees, and these are all part of that process. There's AP course offerings for students who would like to earn college credit before they leave high school. There's financial aid nights and college application workshops. So the process just continues on as they leave. Today I had an exciting day. There's another program in the state of Wisconsin called Learning Blade, and it's new. It aligns with the Wisconsin Career Readiness Standards, and I'm having our 8th grade students do a mission called Hack Attack, and it works with some of the technology things, and I'm hoping to partner with Mrs. Rodriguez to do some more with that. So that's ACP here at Raymond. Does anyone have any questions?
I do.
Yeah.
Now, they obviously do all these inventories and stuff on Zello. Does that follow them into high school then?
Yeah, the whole
That same
program will go
program?
with them, and they'll log in, and
All
all
the
their
history?
things
Okay.
will be there.
Okay, good. That's great.
That's amazing. I wish they had that when we were.
Yeah, I do.
So yeah, it answers the question of, what are you gonna do when you grow up? And it's overwhelming to kids. If they're not overwhelmed, they're not paying attention, because this is the first gateway to adulting. And it makes it real for some kids to say, wow. Some get excited because they wanna move on to those things. A lot of them are overwhelmed, just because it's just like, what do you mean I have to think about, a way that I'm gonna make money and not just go home and enjoy, off mom and dad. So it's a great conversation starter, and again, I encourage you to have those ask your kid about Zello.
You can go in there with them,
Yep.
and a really fun thing to do is click on a career inside of Zello, and the amount of information that is in there is just amazing. It gives like a work, snapshot of what that career is, but it even tells you in Wisconsin how much an entry-level worker makes and an experienced worker, where you can go to school, what your job employment will look like, what your job site looks like. The amount of information that Zello has compiled in there, even since my kids were in high school, and they've, all since graduated, and they all had Zello, it's fascinating. They just keep adding more and more to it, so.
It's working, because I have a grandson who graduated from here, and he's going to Gateway in the welding program and getting certificate, and he's in high school.
I can't speak off the top of my head on how many dual certifications they have at Union Grove, but it's a lot. Gateway has got a great program going over there.
Fantastic.
Is that on their Chromebook?
It is.
So they have it.
They have it, it's linked right inside their Clever account. Yeah. The kids like it. The 6th graders get super excited about it, especially.
Yeah.
Well, it's sort of like playing the game of life a little bit.
It is.
The game, the actual game, where you're thinking about the future and what it might be. My son and daughter have both done this. It's a state initiative, so they've done it in their district as well. And it's funny because they'll come home and they'll be like, yeah, I did this survey and it said something like, I don't really want to be. And I said, well, then figure out how to be what you want to be. Take some
Well-
different classes. You know, do something different, because clearly right now you're aligning with a career you don't want.
I always tell the kids too, they have to really slow down and not just click through their inventories. And you can't put not sure for everything, because it's, you know, it's a computer, so we have to have an opinion. We either like something or dislike something. And when they redo it, then they usually get aligned with something that they're a little more interested in. It's a lot of fun to play around in there. Thanks.
Thank you. And this is just one aspect of Mrs. Klein's job. Notice this was just 6th, 7th, and 8th. There's other things constantly that she's working on to prepare the students in other grade levels as these conversations start when they're in kindergarten.
Well, I do at least a week of career lessons in every grade, so before the end of the year, they'll all have a taste of, you know, in kindergarten, your community helpers, in 3rd grade, what are our career clusters, things like that. So they start thinking about it early, so it's a lot of fun.
Very good.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mrs. Klein.
And obviously, we know you can head home after this. You've got a long day, so thank you for the presentation.
Yes,
I just want to add a comment. In the Panther Press, you have the Counselor's Corner. I've really been enjoying those. I think they're very encouraging, and I like what you write. Yeah. Thank you.
I also, we have a neighbor who is a freshman in high school who graduated from here, and she had mentioned I didn't know it was Zello. She had mentioned something about the program and how much more she thinks she's enjoying high school because of what you taught her, or the course that she took with that. So I just want to commend you on that.
Well, thank you, that made my
Yeah,
day.
she mentioned you by name, so.
Is there parts of that engage the parents in that with the kids too?
No, but really, I do encourage anyone to
Yeah.
just log in with their students in 6th, 7th, and 8th grade. They can pull that up, and, you know, sometimes they get a little middle school-ish with it, you know, like, oh, I just don't think it's gonna tell me what I wanna do. But the more that they get in there and explore, and you look with them, like, if you have a pathway or an idea, you can explore it together, and I think it's really a great way to get to know what your kids wanna do.
Good idea.
Okay. Thank you again, Debbie. Next, we move to the public portion of the meeting. Members of the public wishing to address the board on any topic that is posted on the agenda are required to complete a public input form before the beginning of the meeting and submit it to the board clerk for consideration.
We have Doreen Moonen.
I have more questions. So, I noticed that, when they voted for the seats for open enrollment, there was only 4 votes, not 5. So there's a mistake in here. Audrey didn't vote. All you did was ask for, are there any other votes? Are there any other votes? You never really voted. And the, part where Mike made comments regarding the new voluntary role, I think there should be something should have been said about the mispayment of the, school board members, that it wasn't paid, because if you're gonna go back to an auditor coming in is gonna be looking for something in December, and things weren't done in their normal time, and if there's no record of it, it's something that's not going to be easy for them to find, so that's why the notes need to be more, closely written.
The minutes you're talking about?
Yeah, because it says Mike Powers made comments regarding his his now volunteer role in the school, helping with lunches and recess duty. Mike expressed his enjoyment with helping in the school and the students. Powers read a prepared statement. Nowhere in here does it talk about, you know, the miss with the payments and stuff like that. So,
Oh, the paying back of,
paying back
Yeah,
of
okay.
his stuff, and the fact that some of you guys didn't get paid. So,
Okay.
so knowing how things get paid at a certain time,
if you're gonna go back and have, an auditor's ever gonna audit, they're gonna wanna know why, and there's nowhere that says why it wasn't paid.
Jeff will make sure to capture that.
Okay.
There was also there was no months identified in the annual meeting for when they get paid. It just said 2 times. So they will get paid 2 times, so
Right.
that should be taken care
But
of.
what I'm saying is, if you're gonna go backwards, the norm for us would be December.
We're not going backwards.
You're not understanding what I'm saying.
Right, I'm just saying that
Yeah, I get what you're
they're gonna get paid twice, and there was no identifying, so the auditors will see the board members getting paid twice for their full amount, so we should be okay.
Okay.
Thank you, Dory.
Is that it?
That's it.
Okay. We'll move to district business.
Jeff's going to take this one. He is involved with our, obviously, you know, the membership is the way we get our funding. So second Friday is a really important day for us, so he can talk a little bit about that report.
Yeah, and if you want to scroll down.
Yep.
So if you're good at math, there's some things that I shouldn't tell you. So excuse me. So this is a comparison between the third Friday count and the second Friday count. So we didn't have any changes. So in the second Friday, the only change we had is we had a 3-year-old special ed preschooler enter the early childhood program at Union Grove Elementary. So the consortium districts pay a portion of that. As far as head count goes, that student technically wasn't in the school yet. So that's why it says 388 for that second Friday and third Friday. Even though it was a student, we still get to count them as a portion of a resident on the second Friday. The second line, the summary of non-residents, if you're good at math again, it's not 127, it's 126, because they all are the same and they all add up to the same. So I'm not sure why I put 127 there. It was probably some kind of formula that I didn't check. So then down in the summary, there I did include the preschool special ed as far as like residents go. So technically that preschool child is a resident, so going from 307 to 308. And then on the right side is the estimated revenue for open enrollment in. And then in June, they subtract the open enrollment out. And then the estimated gain of that is the 861,000. So what I'm cash flowing for is that 861,791.
But the operating, or the open enrollment out, that is just the value of the kids that are not coming here, correct?
Yes, those are resident kids. There's 45 resident kids that are going to a different district. We still count them on the revenue limit for the taxes, but then we pay out the open enrolled price, which is slightly less than our resident levy.
One of the efforts that we are making to address that as well is as we are entering registration season, so you'll notice all the schools around us, including us, are starting to reach out to new enrollments. We're trying to get a sense of what the fall's going to look like, so if you've not been in school, we want to know. We are going to be doing a mailer in the coming month to push out to every household that has some updates, some good things to glow about, which we're doing, well and celebrating. It'll also have a chance for families to register or start the process to register, or it'll also give them a chance to join our mailing list so we can get communications out. We aren't just going to go to our public and ask when we need money or a referendum. We want to share what we're doing and update our public so they know what Raymond's doing in the meantime. We are also reaching out to families that we know of that maybe have an interest in returning. I did give a tour to 2 different families in the last month who are currently open and enrolled out, and they are residents in. So we'd love it if they came back. That's their decision, but obviously they're excited about the direction and things we're doing. So we're going to slowly chip away, and our goal is to reduce the amount out, because obviously that has a financial impact.
Okay. We'll move to committee reports. First is curriculum.
I can take that. Okay. We held the curriculum meeting on February 2nd. Mrs. Marty is awesome at explaining things to us and how we're, how we're doing the math pilot. Actually, I talked to my son about it too, and he likes the new program better than the old program, so comment to that. Talked about professional development days that the school is having, and the chart that shows we're doing math this year, what we're doing next year and the following year, so that we're constantly updating our programs, which I think Mrs. Marty is fantastic at bringing the information to us, and how she's testing the students and the teachers and getting comments from all around. So I appreciate that as a board member. That's it.
Okay. Thank you. We move to facilities.
I'll take that one. So we have a couple of things that we're concerned about. We have the door replacement planning. One of the doors back here out of the middle school is bad. It's a project we're gonna hold on to. It's a $4,000 to $5,000 expense as an estimate, and it's just replacing the one door. They are a double door, so we kind of block the one door and they use the other door. We also have a plumbing issue that was brought, a sewage plumbing issue. We've received a study showing that we have various areas that are subject to failure. However, the area that we did get scoped out is still operating fine at this point, but there is some leakage inward that's causing rainwater and stuff to get into our holding tanks. So that's why we're pumping out more sewage than we're bringing water into the building. So we've got to get something done with that at some point. And we're gonna work on getting some budget numbers and things of that nature. Other than that, those were the big items. Working on creating a budget for the next school year and trying to identify, Bob's working on the staff, identifying what we got coming that we got to worry about maintaining and taking care of. And we have our next meeting on March 10th.
I have a question. Is there, like a fire safety issue with having that door shut all the time and not being able to open it? Do you know?
So
The door isn't blocked or unusable. We're just making sure the kids don't go out it.
Okay,
It opens, if you were to push it, it would open right now.
okay,
And it would close, more than likely. The problem is, it doesn't shut all the way. So we're just telling them, when you go out, use the right side. We're not blocking it, we're not doing anything to disallow it, because it would be a fire hazard if we were to block it. But we're just saying, we know that door swings open, and right now, the door
Doesn't pull
itself, right.
okay.
It's a door closing issue with a steel on the door, so, but it is totally usable in the event of any, issue.
Thank you.
Okay. Next is finance. We had a meeting on February 11th.
And again, basically, we had our meeting. Jeff goes through and reports to us everything that y'all seen tonight. We didn't really have any questions. He does a good job. He explains everything to us prior to the meeting tonight. And so there were no issues that we found, because he explains everything so clearly to us. So, good there.
personnel, we are going to have a personnel committee soon, probably in early March. Audrey and Jenny are on that committee. So we are going to review our staff handbook.
Week the 26th,
Yep.
and we'll have a lot more updates on that.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, we move to Mr. Leach.
Yes, hard to believe we're already talking again since last month. Time's flying. We are going to be doing communications with the community, as I mentioned before. There's a flyer that's going to be going out. We're working on it right now to talk about various things going on here at Raymond, as well as things we're proud of, things we need. So we want to make sure we open up those lines of communication with the community. We feel like the best way to do that is through a mailer, even though it's expensive. It's a little over $1,000, but I think it's money well spent when it comes to sharing our message and engaging our public. There's an update. We have registration efforts. We're going to be having a push to try and make sure we have enough K4, K5 resident families communicating with us to get a better sense of our numbers for next year as we plan for staffing in the fall. And myself and our leadership team are going through the staff evaluation cycle. We are meeting with all professional staff about their SLO and PPG, it's student learning outcomes and professional goals. So we'll be doing those mid-year. We do a beginning of the year, middle of the year, end of the year goal discussion with our staff members, one-on-one conversations, and those are going really well. Tough to fit in, but we're going pretty well. And then observations, we go through, we have every teacher gets 2 mini, so short drop-ins, and then 1 formal structured assessment. So we're going through that system as well. And the rest of our staff have their evaluation cycles for support staff, clerical, et cetera. Those are all going on in the spring here in February and March. So looking forward to getting people some feedback. I mean, who likes to, no one likes to go unnoticed, and you want to have those conversations about ways they can improve. So we're doing that as we speak. We hope to have, obviously, our goal is before contracts are issued, evaluations are cycled through, and we're moving in the right direction. Spring is coming. So, Ms. Marty.
Okay, so summer school is indeed, the planning will be starting. We will meet get interested teachers together on the 23rd. Then from there, we start to plan the courses and get the kids signed up, and it happens before you know it. So yeah, February, that is when you need to do it. Also, math pilot, we talked a little bit about that, where we had some teachers go and visit Yorkville, and they were able to watch in the classroom Bridges, which is one that we're going to pilot for K through 5, watch it in action. So that was really kind of nice to see what those kids are doing, and they were very impressed with a lot of the stuff that the little kids could do. So now we're trying it, and we'll kind of see how that goes. Those are the 2 big things. We did also have our NAEP testing, which is where it's the National Association of Education something.
National Assessment of Educational Proficiency.
Thank you. How'd you know that? Okay, anyway, they came in and they tested all of our 4th graders, and they picked people randomly, although I'm understood we've been picked 3 times in the last 20.
So random.
Yeah,
Yes,
in the last
it is
20
random.
years. So we did that. They came in. The kids were great. It ran very smoothly. And the next thing we'll be preparing for is the forward exam, which will start the week before spring break.
How long does the forward exam last?
So our teachers like to, our 4th grade teachers in particular, they don't want to test the kids too much at once. So it will take them 4 weeks because they have to take all 4 subjects. Not every day. They'll have one day where they'll spend an hour, and the next day they'll spend an hour. So it's the window is 6 weeks. We're going to use 4 of that, and then we keep the last 2 out for makeups, because inevitably someone will be on vacation or absent or that kind of thing. Yeah.
Okay. Good. Thank
Who
you.
analyzes the results for the forward testing? Is that all state, or does the school do that, or?
State collects them,
Yep,
and then we get them usually toward end of school year.
yep, yep. And then we take a look at all that. We have that is something we work in our PLC model with the teachers on. Ultimately, that feeds into the state report card that we usually talk about in the fall.
Other questions? No? Oh, no problem. Any board comments?
I would like to make a comment. I volunteered for the Valentine's Day Carnival for 4K through what, 5th grade? 4th grade.
Fifth.
5th grade. It was so fun. Tanner, my son, is in 7th grade, so he's like, why are you volunteering? But I loved it, every minute of it. But just to see the teachers come and take pictures and smile that their kids are having a great time, and it does still educational. Some of it is educational with hand-eye coordination and oh gosh, I hate when I do this. The gym teacher had some music going for us.
Mr. Wolf.
Thank you, Mr. Wolf. So, yeah, the PTO did a great job.
Great. Anybody else?
I will add to that because I also was there volunteering for the PTO thing, and it was a blast. I got to do the fishing game where they like to throw this little fishing rod hook over the top. I got to be the one on this side. Nellie was on the other side, my wife. She kept getting hit with the paper clip thing while we were throwing it over. But it was a great time. The kids were really good. The PTO did a great job with it.
Very well ran, yeah.
And, yeah, the kids were, they were all well behaved. They'd sit in line, they'd wait, they were polite. They said thank you. It was really won well, and they had a lot of fun. Also, last month, I believe it was, we had a pep rally here with a BMX rider. I forget who it was. That was a really good time. I got to see the BMX guy do all of his tricks on his BMX bike and stuff, and
Was that anti-bullying thing?
the kids seemed to really enjoy it. They were having a good time. It was good seeing the teachers, Mr. Wolf, Mr. Mike here, all get dressed up wearing funny hats, and they were all just having a good time, getting the kids pumped up for it and stuff. So that was really good to see.
He did jump a bike over myself, Dana, and Jamie Wolf, all three of us in a row stacked, and he made it, thankfully.
Mike was on the end.
She put me on the far end, I'm not sure why.
So, but just seeing the positivity, being in the school a lot more, seeing stuff like that, seeing the PTO with the holidays and stuff like that. It's just been a lot of good fun in the school, and it's good seeing everyone having fun in the school. So, a lot of props to the teachers, Mr. Wolf especially with the music and the hats, and also, having Mr. Leach play badminton against 8th graders, I hear it was fun too.
Yeah, it's good.
That's great. I just have a little bit to say about, last week, Wednesday, I had the opportunity to visit Union Grove High School for their choral and concert, and the feeder schools were invited to participate with them. It was awesome. I sat right next to Natalie as her daughter was in there also, as my granddaughter. And Ed's granddaughter is in the high school choral program. The chamber choir that they have there is outstanding, and they have a great choral leader, a great music teacher there. So it was time well spent and very eye-opening to what opportunities our kids have as they go off to Union Grove. Next, any announcements or correspondence? Nothing? Our next scheduled board meeting workshop is Monday, March 2nd at 5:30 p.m. And our regular board meeting is scheduled for Monday, March 16th at 6:30 p.m. So at this time, we may adjourn to closed session. The board may convene in closed session pursuant to Wisconsin statutes 19.851C, considering employment, promotion, compensation, or performance evaluation data of any public employee over which the governmental body has jurisdiction or exercises responsibility. We will conduct a closed session in the main office conference room. The board will be returning to regular session to take any action if needed. Is there a motion to move to close?
I make a motion to move to closed session.
No second.
We have a motion and a second to move to closed session. Natalie, will you do roll call, please?
Ed Robinson,
Yes.
Jennifer Gonzalez.
Yep.
Mike Powers,
Yes.
Audrey Kostick,
Yes.
Keith Kassenson.
Yes.
We are now in closed.
Thanks for coming.